Ah, yes. Here we are yet again. If it's noon Eastern time on a Wednesday, that of course means it's time for the High Noon Hemp Show. We are live in many places, also video on demand whenever you want to watch it. Later on, of course, on Facebook, we have Temptations Beach. On YouTube is the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel and at Temptations on Twitter/X, whatever it is you call it. These days, of course, the podcast, Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show. I am Stoner Jesus. I am doing various shenanigans and tomfooleries on the interwebs, which you can learn about on the interwebs. He is Beach. He is high above the Temptations in Sharonville, Ohio, at the Hemp Quarters. Beach, how are things this Thanksgiving week in the world of Temptations?
We like to call it Hempsgiving. Hempsgiving is
Indeed.
what this is, the Hempsgiving episode of the High
That's right.
Noon Hemp Show. We are always Hempsgiving around here. It's true. I am Beach. I am high above the Sharonville location, and we are celebrating Hempsgiving and Green Friday and Small Business Saturday and all those other things that are relevant to Hemptations. Just to get it out of the way, remember the FDA has not evaluated this show for safety or efficacy. And let's go ahead and let's read our.
Oh, your audio went out, Beach, for some odd reason. I cannot hear you. Why that is, I don't know. Can you hear me? Because I cannot hear you. That did not fix the problem. Now I don't know what's going on. I have no audio at all. I don't know anybody out there can hear. Let me go check. See if there's any audio at all from anybody. I can hear me. Can't hear you. Okay. I need to write to Beach and let him know we cannot hear him. Sorry, everybody. It's there is numerous tech issues when it comes to the High Noon Hemp Show, and I'm not sure why. Yes. Cannot hear Beach. Hopefully he sees my message. Because I don't think Beach can hear me either. I'm not sure if Beach can hear me at all. I don't know. But I know that it's my voice going out over the air, not Beach's. So what we do about that, I don't know. Just I hear nothing from Beach's end. Let me check the video again to see. Yeah. It's just me. Not sure what is happening. Nothing changed. Beach's mic went out as soon as I pulled up the pledge.
Oh,
Hey,
there we go.
There we go. Wow. I know I have
for
no
some
idea what
reason
happened.
again. I don't know why my headphones. I won't be able to hear you because I had to turn my volume down on that. But I don't know why my headphones mess things up. I plug them in, they work. I unplug them, they work. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, hopefully everybody can hear us now.
I think
one
we're
way
good.
or another, and we'll get on with it. Again, back to our sale. We should have a poster with our Green Friday sale and Small Saturday. That's what I was talking about before. And again, both days we're going to do in store. We're going to do 42% off hemp hood lamb stuff. We're going to do 42% off any glass piece over $300. And then we're also, I think, going to do the hemp hoodland or the hemp mania duffel bags. which I will be showing here in a moment in the product spotlight. In fact, a lot of this stuff I will be showing in the product spotlight that's going to be on our super sale on Friday and Saturday. We're also going to be doing 30% off all other clothes, hats, bags, accessories, any glass piece between 100 and 300, uh, and then everything else for 20% off. So if you come in on Friday or Saturday, you're going to get a deal. There's no reason not to stop in between all your other crazy shopping if you're going to do that. If not, and maybe you've been thinking about a hemp hoodlamp jacket for a while, Friday and Saturday is going to be the day to come in and find yourself. And again, I would definitely recommend coming to the Sharonville location, which is where the majority of those things are. If you do go into Northside and we don't have the size jackets you may or may not be looking for, then tell them to get a hold of the Sharonville location and we'll see if we can't get it down there for you if it's not easy for you to travel. Either way, get into Hemptations for Green Friday, November 24th, or Small Business Saturday, November 25th, and take advantage of probably the largest number percentage-wise sale that we've ever done. But it's wintertime, and it's time to get rid of these hemp hoodlamp jackets, and no better place to do it than to our customers who would love them. Again, they'll last you a lifetime one way or another. I truly believe that if you even kind of take care of them. You're talking about jackets that you'll be able to pass down to your kids if you want to eventually someday. So there you have it. The Hempy Holidays sale at Hemptations. Green Friday, November 24th. And Small Business Saturday, November 25th. Let's just go ahead and get to that product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door, which does feature everything that's going to be on sale this week. This is just the women's side, as far as the women's jackets, I think, that we have out on display in Sharonville. The other side of the rack is filled with men's, and then we've got boxes of hemp hoodlamp jackets if you're going to take advantage of this 42% off sale. And you will not, whether you buy it for yourself or you buy it as a gift, you will not regret getting 42% off of these jackets, as they are unbelievably nice. Unbelievably nice. No doubt about it. Those Hemp Mania duffel bags I mentioned. We've got to look at the selection of those. Just about any color you want. If you get in early, that green one might go fast. So get in early Friday. Get your 42% off of those hemp duffel bags. Great travel bag, good gym bag. They can serve so many purposes when it comes to a good old-fashioned duffel bag. Hemp clothing. This is just a little. There's 4 racks basically of hemp clothing that are in Sharonville. Button downs, long sleeve, short sleeve, women's stuff, men's stuff, all kinds of hemp clothing to take advantage of. And again, that's 30% off all those racks. Anything on those racks, 30% off Friday and Saturday this week only. Celebrating Hempsgiving and the shopping season. Green Friday. I call it Green Friday. It makes more sense to call it Green Friday. You're saving green.
That's right.
If you shop in Green Friday here at Hemptations. And this last one on sale. Once again, 30% off. How about some the Paperboy hats on top? Very nice. If you know anybody that likes that style of hat. And then even the regular old ball caps that we've got on sale for Green Friday, Small Business Saturday. And, when I go out shopping, it's 4 from the store, all on sale this Friday and Saturday. The one from my door this is probably my favorite grocery bag, just because it, kind of supports the whole idea of everything. And it's also very deep. It's probably deeper than any other hemp grocery bag that I have. So this is probably out of the at least 10 or so hemp grocery bags that I have. This is my favorite personal hemp grocery bag. Vote hemp anytime you have to. I feel like we're almost done voting hemp, but not quite. And I will talk about that a little bit more here in the news as to what's going on with the good old farm bill, uh, the federal farm bill here in a minute. So, all right, there you have it on the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. 4 from the store, 1 from my store, all 4 on sale this Friday and Saturday in Temptations. Get in there, get that stuff. Add those things to your hemp collection so you can try to have the largest collection of hemp on the planet, which is my current record.
That's right.
One way or another.
I keep bugging the people on Guinness World Records on X, but no response yet. But we'll get them. We'll get them. Now, without further ado, the beachwear segment. It's the greatest segment in internet history. You know it. All I have to do is ask one question. When I ask, what are you wearing beach?
If I was going to a Hempsgiving celebration tomorrow, and I think that we are not, I think we're going to stay pretty chill this year when it comes to going out. This is probably an outfit that I would in fact wear. I call this dressing up, folks. On top there, I've got my top hand glove beanie, keeping my head warm because again it is cold out there. Hemp hoodlam jacket, definitely keeping me warm on these cold days. It's supposed to get down super cold tomorrow for Hempsgiving, maybe even snow. I don't know. I don't think there's snow coming, but it's cold enough to snow here in the high state area. Now, this sweatshirt, I do believe, never before worn on What Are You Wearing Beach segment of the High Noon Hemp Show. This is actually Kentucky hemp spun. I don't know if the company still exists, but they were, I believe, down in the Frankfurt area. No, Versailles area. Versailles, they call it in Kentucky area of Kentucky. But they were manufacturing hemp goods. I think again, this is one of my I think I found this on eBay. I think by the time I found this, I don't believe that the company existed anymore. If they still exist, I should have looked into it just to see if they're still trying to do their thing. But it's just a regular old, kind of nicer sweater, not quite sweater, kind of sweatshirty. Definitely appropriate for the winter. And once again, I do not believe has ever been seen here on the High Noon Hemp Show after 235 episodes. Underneath it, I have an Ono t-shirt. I believe it's a Hemptations University Ono t-shirt underneath there. My pants are INI cargo pants. Now, originally, I found these at the Hempest online website. I don't know if they still offer these or not. You'll be seeing more of these over the winter as I have them in multiple colors and not styles. They're all cargo pants, but multiple colors. And again, these are super comfortable, honestly. And then in the pocket there, as you can see, as usual, hanging out is my Green Springs Technology pen. That's one of my 3D printed Green Spring Technology pens. My briefs, giving the Hempest a little credit there. Those are Hempest briefs, boxer briefs as you might want to call them. My socks, pretty rare as well. Those are from Hemp Authority. And again, most of my Hemp Authority stuff, I hope they still exist. They have they had a lot of socks and bags and stuff. Really neat. Because these are totally different. They're like checkered, natural and green. And then kind of fancy, a little fancy maybe. And then a good old fashioned pair of shell toe Adidas. I don't know how dressed up those really are, but I probably could have worn a nicer pair of shoes, which I will be breaking out. I'm really thinking about soon. Everybody's going to get a look at the Dolce and Gabbana suit. I don't know that I've ever worn it on the show or shown it, but it's time to do it. I have all the right things because I don't have to actually wear it, but I can put it on and model it for the "What Are You Wearing" beach segment. Get it ready.
Nice.
So there you have it. Little little nicer, for going to somewhere to get some good Hempsgiving food. Um, Now you know what I'm wearing. There it is. All good stuff. All right. Well, new movie coming out that I filmed the trailer for 5 years ago called Temptations on the Loose. Let's check it out.
Nice. Why can't I unmute the mic? It's not letting me unmute the mic.
Let's do this.
It says you muted
Okay, how about
yourself.
now?
There
I
we
don't
go.
know why.
Now we're good.
Like you muted my mic and then it muted me on my side. I didn't do that. I tell you, sometimes these electronics, they just have a mind of their own. But we're working through it just like we always do here on the High Noon Hemp Show.
That's
If
right.
we weren't a little glitchy, I just wouldn't feel like it was the High Noon Hemp Show, to be honest with you.
Oh, man.
I think they call that low budget. I need to
Right.
talk to some of my sponsors. Could get some new tech, maybe. Anyway, all right, let's jump right into the news. As I mentioned, the Farm Bill now, they are, I guess they're going to just hold it over. They're not going to do anything with it now, I guess, because of the strike, since the government was on strike, so to speak, not too long ago. They just don't have time to get it done and signed and finished. Now, I still don't know of any real changes to the industrial hemp side of things on the Farm Bill. I've heard some rumors about them getting rid of some things, which would be great. Again, it's not that thick to begin with. It's pretty small verbiage. It's like a page, possibly, of the billion-page Farm Bill. But there are still some things that could be changed. There are still some things that could be bettered or taken out. The agreement for that you have to be federally tested in a federal facility, which they've never been able to do because there aren't enough facilities to keep up with the market. They just postpone that every year. They get rid of that requirement every year. Since we've started doing this, since that was part of the Farm Bill, they have said you don't have to do it, which I think is crazy. But they can't keep up with the testing, so they have to say you can take it anywhere, which you should be able to. I mean, any legitimate testing facility should be able to give you the numbers, and if they're pulling any shenanigans, then they're going to get in trouble. That's just what it is. And so the conviction, the felony conviction, I do believe is still part of the federal law. So if you've had a felony conviction, it's possible that you cannot be an industrial hemp farmer. legally in the United States, which is just absurd as well. Again, I mean, do they keep convicted felons from becoming farmers for any other crop? Like, if I'm a convicted felon, can I grow corn or soy or
Yeah.
cotton? I bet I can. I bet I
Yep.
can. And so again, that's part of that whole still having a criminal ideology when it comes to industrial life. It's just there's zero criminal behavior when it comes to farming industrial hemp. Period. If they become criminals and decide to grow marijuana, and the federal government wanted to do that because it's pretty much legal in every state anyway, um, then they could, and of course they would get involved. But if it's just industrial hemp, it's an industrial hemp cultivar. Uh, you know, there's no reason why anybody can't be an industrial hemp farmer. It's not unsafe, uh, you know. And so, hopefully, those are the couple things. They're definitely not talking about raising the percentage yet. That won't happen. I don't think that'll happen until cannabis is federally legal, until cannabis is off the controlled substance list, period, for all its purposes. I don't think we're going to get a higher percentage for industrial hemp. Um, you know, if it does become, once it does become off the federal and it's legal to grow in your state, then you could conceivably do what I'm going to do, which is grow hemp under the marijuana laws. And, technically speaking, you would have to worry about if you take that hemp to the market. Like, so let's say I grow hemp, but it is that somehow it is 4% because I'm growing it under the marijuana laws. Technically speaking, if I took that fiber, wove it into a textile, made a shirt out of it, and then sold it to you, that would actually be federally illegal, which is the absurdity of the THC content in industrial hemp if you're using it for the grain or the fiber. Which again, hopefully that's a move we would love to see happen is have an exemption for industrial hemp farmers for any of the testing or anything, as long as at the end of the day they're selling the fiber to be used somewhere. The only thing they couldn't do is sell the flower if they were under this exception. The rest of the plant would be part of the exception, and it wouldn't matter the THC content, even though there is no THC in the fiber. There is no THC in the hurd, that outside part we use for hempcrete. There is no THC in the seed, contrary to popular belief, if the seed is cleaned properly. Okay, the only THC that can be on it would be on the outside, not on the inside. There is zero THC on the inside. And even if it's 0.3%, which it's not. Again, I want to. Where is that study? Someone do that study, please. Take a bunch of seed, test it for THC, and just see what the average hemp seed THC content is, which is going to be, I believe, nil. Honestly, nil. So, um, you know, there's still room to grow. They're not going to grow that far. I don't know. And I don't really know. The rumor is again they're definitely putting it off until next year, before they pass the farm bill. So we'll see what happens. Kentucky, if you're in Kentucky, their registration, you can go online now, I believe, and register for a license in Kentucky for next year's growing. So if you want to grow in Kentucky and you're in Kentucky, you can go ahead and get that going, get that done, get it approved, and then you don't have to worry about it for another 4 months, 5 months or so. I think this is one of the earliest. Usually, if I see it, it's usually like December. But I feel like at this point, Kentucky is smart enough, and there's enough being grown that I would just say I don't know why you couldn't register for the next year at any point during the previous year. Why even wait till I have to wait till November? If I wanted thinking about growing hemp next year, why can't I apply for my application in June?
Yeah.
And so, um, you know, but I do think that every year it seems like they're opening up those applications earlier and earlier to the farmers in Kentucky, because they're 100% behind their hemp growing. Other than they did just change some laws recently, um, and may also change some other laws as far as growing for CBD flower, like raising the license fee, which is ridiculous. It's like, if I remember correctly, in Kentucky, it's like $35 filing fee, and that's it. And then I still do believe you may have to get tested at the end of the year as part of the state policy, which is a little out of pocket. But that's to me is minimal. Um, Even if you're growing just an acre for fiber, I don't think that testing fee is enough that it really sets you back from making some money on the fiber or for grain one way or another. Again, as much as all the rules should be the same, I suppose I do understand the rules being different when it comes to growing for the flower. But I don't actually. I don't. It's industrial hemp, and honestly, I'm not. I'm not. I don't agree. Again, it should just be left alone until someone finds that you're doing something illegal, which is basically growing a hemp plant that has 0.4% or more THC. I just think you should be left alone. I mean, if you sell a over-the-counter product or CBD oil to someone and it says higher, then eventually, if someone catches on, you're going to get in trouble for that. I mean, it's pretty much every state is seed to sale, seed to retail. Seed to shelf is what they call it, I guess. Whereas, like from the minute that seed changes hands to the end of the product, even if it's a pair of jeans, from my understanding, it's the way it's supposed to go. Um, it's all trackable, all the way back to that seed. And so, at some point or another, somebody's doing something that's not right. Should be pretty easy to find them. And again, that should be after the fact, not before the fact. It should be after the fact. If someone's trying to sell some shady industrial hemp higher than zero point 0.4 THC product to the market. And I don't want to call it shady. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just that's the law. So I shouldn't say shady because these things happen. Um, you know, and again, the only way anybody's really going to pay attention is if it ends up being like 2%, not 0.4% or 0.5%. But
Yeah.
if everything is tested, then everyone would know. And again, that's shelf. That's someone saying, "Hey, we think that this product on the shelf doesn't meet, so you have to prove that it does," which is what COAs are for. And everybody has COAs. If you're getting your CBD or Delta 8 or Delta 9 or HHC or any of this from a legitimate business, then they have the COAs from the industrial hemp that was grown and tested and had that 0.3% or less. And then after that, we can do whatever we want with it. Once again, um, someone else joked. I like saying if we could make cocaine out of industrial hemp, it would be legal. Just like someone recently said, somebody in the country said, if we could make meth from industrial hemp, it would be legal, which is true. We can't, so it's not a concern. But all I'm saying is the way the law is written, it clearly says that anything that can be made, any byproduct, anything can be manufactured from anything, is 100% a hemp product, federally legal, not on the controlled substance list. Get on with it. Period. That's why all these states are having to change their laws when they're concerned about all this other stuff. Good old Cleveland Clinic getting into the pro hemp movement, I should say, because they highlight that hemp seeds are rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids, which they call puffs, and I've never seen that before, by the way. Just another good part uh, of hemp, but they're polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are good fatty acids. Of course, and also the omega 3 and 6, which we already knew, perfect ratio of those, and antioxidants. Um, all of these things, they say, help prevent diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Um, to prevent, okay, again, all medicine, all medicine that I accept wholeheartedly is preventative. If it's truly preventative, and again, we're talking all natural here when it comes to hemp seed oil, hemp seed or hemp seed oil. These benefits, this is once again all natural and can be organic if you need it to be, one way or another. And then there was another study, 2010, that showed that the benefits of linoleic acid, and this is again a study that was shown on the benefits of linoleic acid, which is also found in hemp, can decrease cholesterol, control blood pressure, and possibly reduce the risk of coronary heart disease and osteosclerosis. Um, Once again, hemp foods, or if it's predominantly hemp that you're eating, hemp seed, whatever it may be, again, it should just go to the top of the super heart healthy list. And so any food that contains, I'd go my 50% or more, I should say, content um, should be heart healthy, cholesterol lowering abilities of hemp seed oil. Okay, not CBD. I can't believe it's like I almost, 5 years ago or so, I had to go backwards because everybody started calling CBD oil hemp oil, and super confusing. And that still exists in the world because certain markets don't allow you to sell CBD oil, even though, once again, 100% legal, 100% legal federally and in your state. There are no states that I know of that have made CBD illegal. Okay. Um, and so once again, you be clear as to what you're getting, because online you'll see it described as hemp oil when it's CBD, and hemp oil is seed oil, in my opinion. CBD oil is CBD oil. Hemp oil is hemp seed oil. Again, this is still some confusion is caused, and this is caused by the retailers. This is 100% caused by the retailers not doing their due diligence to say we can sell these things, you can advertise for these things. It's 100% legal. There's no reason you can't do this, but they're just lazy, and they're like hiring a doorman for security, thinking you're going to keep your bar safe. But you're really just being lazy and not paying attention to what the real situation is. And that is CBD is 100% legal if it comes from industrial hemp, and there's no reason why any business shouldn't sell it or put it on their shelves, as most are, to be honest with you, which is just, again, it's just so weird. So about some little fashion news here. Sisters Tina and Parve Wetshi, they launched a new journal, and I'm sure you can check this out online if you'd like to. It's called A Green Culture. A Green Culture is the name of their journal, and again, this is based on environmentally friendly, sustainable clothing, fashion, and whatnot. And they're focusing on hemp farmers, or farmers, I should say, fashion farmers, whatever that may or may not mean. But hemp is one, and there is a picture here of some hemp stalks. I believe this is a company called Contemporary Hempery, and this is over in Europe. They're over near the Sulpic area. Um, but again, this is what they're doing is they're growing for fiber here. Um, I will say this: they're like super skinny stalks and really green. So I really feel like that this isn't like as matured as it could have been in the field. To be honest with you, it does look like the stalks in the back there might be a little thicker. Um,
Mm.
but I think I saw in the article that they're getting 10 feet. Those don't look 10 feet. I don't know where the 10 foot is, but if you get, and 10 foot seems to be that the happy number. I did report on another fiber farming operation that had been contracted by a textile company, and they're basically the only requirement is that the stalks were at least 10 feet tall. And again, you're getting 10 feet of continuous fiber in there. Okay. Now we have seen as tall as 23. The record right now, I do believe, is 23 and a half foot tall hemp. Um, and that was uh, just in the last couple of years, might have been last year or 2 years ago that those records were set. So, that's the bar. If you want to break at this point, probably the tallest documented hemp is over 23 and a half feet tall. So once again, that's over 20 feet of continuous fiber from the root to the top of the tree. Um, and so it's and that's the real to shoot for. And again, it'll probably be in not too long a time because it will just keep producing the seeds for these 20-foot hemp plants, and that will be the fiber everyone would grow everywhere. It's just an amazing amount of um, byproduct that you're dealing with, raw material. You know, when it comes to a 20-foot tall hemp plant.
Yeah.
That's all stalk, that herd, that stalk part, that outer part, we call the herd. Some call shiv in the world. That's what you use to make the hempcrete. And then once again, the inside, once you break that up, and you got your fiber. So, that's well, and I'm kind of surprised that I'm not seeing more fiber growth um, bragging about their height. But I really think that's going to come. Again, we're talking about we can easily do it through breeding, coming up with some hemp fiber cultivars uh, that will average 15, 20 feet in length, in height. And then, the next goal is, can we get 30-foot hemp plants? I bet we can. I bet we can. They're going to have to be planted very closely together because I feel like they just all want to fall over. I don't know. I don't know. But when we plant for fibers, you can see here, when you plant for fiber, for textiles, the textile industry, you plant very close together. You get a lot of material in the field, as my chart from last week showed, when compared to cotton, which is just crazy. Um, how much you can get so much more out of hemp fiber in a much smaller area, which again, that's efficiency right there, folks. And now it's even more efficient than its leading competitor. And we already know it's 4 to 6 times stronger, and it doesn't require any of the chemicals. Just one more reason why more hemp fiber needs to be grown in the world everywhere. And again, parts of Europe, France, and the Eastern Bloc, um, and whatnot, have no issues growing industrial hemp. So It's all good. It's all good. Um, I know I reported on this company when they were just starting up and coming up with the idea, but it looks like Loop Biotech is producing the first living coffins. And again, this is something that we're seeing a lot of composite like products being made from, which is mycelium and hemp. Um, and so mycelium is mushrooms, fungus, comes from fungus. And the hemp, I believe they're actually using the hemp fiber with the composite. Um, and once again, biodegradable. Now, this says it's living, so it actually continues to live. And you're in the ground and you're in it and you're breaking down and it's breaking up and it's doing its thing. I don't know if that's actually the way you would describe that. The human body would be breaking down. The coffin would be living. And, and then, of course, the hemp, I think, is just there, to help keep everything in the right shape. And then it would just be biodegradable. Just like most of the human body. And I don't know if once again, eventually that mycelium again starts to break down and everything goes back to nature, just like nature intended. Okay, nature's intent with us dying up until recently was basically just go, lay down beside a tree and let nature do its thing. Um, Even when we started burying, and it's very new, just so you know, in human society, for us to bury our dead, even then, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we didn't put those bodies in concrete so that they would be there for thousands of years. We just buried them and then let nature do its thing, as Beavis would say. You're worm food now. Um, and I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. Up until recently, it was illegal in the state of Ohio to be buried in an all natural box. Now, we do have, um, again, it was illegal to be buried in an untreated box in the state of Ohio until recently. Which, again, that's absurd. That is just 100% absurd. Uh, we are allowed to now be buried in untreated substances, much like this, that would break down. Take everything back to nature as it stands or should stand, one way or another. Again, that's Loop Biotech if you're interested. Now, I do believe once again that they may be a European company. I don't know if those are available in the U.S. I might have seen something about how they may actually be available in the U.S. now. And so, if you're thinking about something like that, I would only hope that actually I'm probably going to be cremated. You can scatter my ashes maybe over a hemp field. I don't know. But if I was going to be buried in a box somewhere, I would definitely try to choose a hemp one. It's only fitting. I would just go hemp press board and be done with it. That would break down nice and natural pretty quickly as well. And so be it, Dundee, one way or another. Okay, so this is very distressful. And this woman wasn't convicted for giving her child CBD. This woman was convicted for mistreatment for not taking her child for medical treatment for her liver cancer. Now, this all started in 2019. This mom was, I believe, arrested in 2019. I can only guess that at this point, which I think is kind of funny, they waited until now to try her because of her daughter's cancer. Guess what? Her daughter's still alive. So whatever she didn't kill her daughter or didn't, um, harm for her enough to cause her daughter to pass away. Um, and again, I believe she is being tried because she denied treatment to her daughter. And it's just ironic that it's not ironic, I should say it's sad that she used CBD, which could only help, couldn't help, hurt, I wouldn't think. Um, and and again, wanted to choose more natural options to treat her child. Okay. Uh, and if your child is under 18 and you don't give it the medical treatment that the state believes you should, then you are held liable for that. Okay. And again, I don't think that the headline makes it sound like she was convicted of mistreatment of her child because she gave him the CBD. That's not really it. She was convicted of mistreatment of her child because she didn't take her to the medical treatments that um, they wanted to give them, chemo or whatever it was. Um, and so, it's kind of misleading one way or another. But I really believe the fact that they convicted her and the fact that her child survived and is doing okay uh, seems counterproductive, super
Yeah.
counterproductive. But the mom couldn't go in there and legitimately say that a doctor ever recommended the CBD or not doing this. And so, once again, she's held accountable because she didn't give her child the treatment that they wanted them to, not because she chose alternative treatments um, that may or may not have been more natural, one way or another. So I didn't see what I don't know if they've sentenced her. I don't know if she's actually going to have to go to jail, which would just once again be quite ridiculous, one way or another. But um, speaking of that, I just reported on the Carnival Cruise lifetime ban with this woman, and I'm not positive this is the same person because I really feel like the first one I reported on there was about hemp oil. This one was about hemp gummies. Maybe the same woman. I think she has even a better lawsuit against Carnival Cruise now because it turns out she's a nurse. And so, so Carnival Cruise has given a lifetime ban to a nurse for trying to bring her CBD gummies once again 100% federal legal. And even in this article, and I really think everyone is taking Carnival Cruise Line's word for it and saying that this is on the controlled substance list because I did see it mentioned on there. Whereas once again, industrial hemp is not on the controlled substance list. So once, just like a lot of states, if Carnival Cruise's policy is basically if it's on the controlled substance list, then obviously you can't have it. It's illegal. Uh, you can't bring it on your cruise with you. Okay. The fact of the matter is industrial hemp, CBD, if it comes from industrial hemp, is not on the controlled substance list. So it should be 100% legal for Carnival Cruise customers to bring this on their cruise ships. If we don't see a change in that policy in the next 6 months, then we're going to see someone somehow lose a lawsuit that they should never have been lost. We'll see. We'll see what happens with all of this, but it really just makes me want to book a Carnival Cruise, load my luggage with stuff that's blatantly CBD. I would put big letters CBD, CBD, and I wouldn't even put legal. I would put federally legal CBD um, on the label because then if they were to come after me and say, "No, you can't go on this cruise and you can't go on any more cruises," my attorney would be filing the paperwork the very next day. And I just hope that this person or someone for this person um, takes this on And again, I think they have a legitimate. They ruined the family vacation. They banned this person who had been they had taken so many Carnival cruises in the past that they were like a VIP Carnival cruise member. They banned her for life from all Carnival cruises for something that's 100% legal. 100% legal. So there's definitely more to this to come. This just happened, and so we're gonna be seeing more of this. I'm sure. So here is uh, here is a picture of a pair of shoes that is somewhat ridiculous. Okay. Now these are actually made by 8,000 Kicks. Now 8,000 Kicks, you may know, I've reported on 8,000 Kicks in the past for their shoes, which they say are the first 100%, or I'm sure the first waterproof hemp shoe. Now that's not this style. Okay. This particular style is a limited edition that is actually supposedly made out of CBD flower or hemp flower. And I've only called CBD flower because in order to get enough flower to possibly do this, and I don't know honestly how they're doing it, to get enough flower to make some shoes out of it would have to be CBD flower. I don't think that even if you're growing for grain, which normally the grain consumes the entire flower when you grow for grain, there isn't any real flower there. But um, this is and 8,000 Kicks again. They just recently released their bag. This was I don't know if they're still crowdsourcing everything, but they started out as crowdsourcing and they made enough money to make their shoes. Um, which, if I in my head, I think that the 8,000 Kicks that I picture, and maybe they have different styles, were more of a kind of almost like a running shoe look to them originally, that are made out of hemp canvas, so to speak, hemp fiber, textile. Um, how they're, and this is, I can only imagine. I feel like this is real, but maybe it's not. But it's not, April Fools, and it's not 420, and so, possibly, maybe they really have made a pair of shoes out of hemp flower, not hemp fiber. So, kind of fun. Okay, that's 8,000 Kicks. You can check them out online. Um, they make a real basic looking kind of hemp shoe, and are saying that they're the first waterproof hemp. I really feel like just about any hemp shoe that's hemp canvas on top would be, I don't know. I mean, it can't be waterproof, I don't think, because that means the water would run off of it. I would think, but I'll have to look into that, into these claims of we're still seeing a lot of firsts in the industrial hemp world. First to do this, first to do that, and some of them might be true. A lot of the first that I see in the hemp industry, I'm like, you weren't the first to do that. It's been done. Maybe they're not doing it anymore because they don't exist anymore. As to for whatever it is you're doing, but there's a lot of hemp firsts that aren't first. They may be the only on the market right now, but maybe not the first that were there. So anyway, I love this picture. This is a picture from an article in Cannabis Now called "Fabric of America." And again, the rumor was always that if your American flag had less than, I believe, 37 or so stars on it, then it was either made out of hemp or wool. And so, once again, if you have a hemp flag that has less than 37 or so stars, there's a very good chance that that flag was made out of hemp historically, one way or another. Again, the five um, things that they list as to why this is the fabric of America: agricultural benefits, unbelievable amount of agricultural benefits, nutritional benefits, which I really think should be number one. I've always said that the main reason we really should grow industrial hemp in this world is for the grain, for the food product to feed the world. Um, and then the agricultural benefits, which is second, which is the fiber, or being able to use it for hempcrete, or the fact that it doesn't require any herbicides or pesticides, so it doesn't the soil is better off for it.
Frozen Beach? I believe so. Continuing saga of the tech issues. The High Noon Hemp Show. Yes. Beach is frozen in time. I don't know. It's been especially weird. The tech issues are usually weird, but today has been especially weird, I feel. From the audio stuff earlier, this has happened before. Frozen Beach. Sometimes he has to leave and come back. Sometimes he just comes back abruptly. I don't know. Still working out the technology and the signals going back and forth, if you will. Make up the space. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, it kind of shuts down. Is the problem. So I don't know. Hopefully, Beach will return. So I have a different beach. At this beach.
Hello, hello. Oh, hey, look, there's two of me.
Now we have frozen beach and regular beach.
The frozen ones now it's gonna unfreeze in a second. That's weird. Okay, so I'm
There we
back.
go.
I'm
There
back.
we go. Now we're back.
Hello, folks. So I think it was on medicinal benefits of industrial hemp, which we talked about therapeutic value of CBD and all of those things. Number 4 was industrial benefits. So there, I think you can talk about the hempcrete or all the other things that we can use hemp for industrially in the United States. And number 5 um, is basically sustainability at its core, which is true. It is sustainable by nature, is it's sustainable, and so again, doesn't need any uh, chemicals to be grown, unless maybe you're growing once again for the flower. It's a little exception. Um, I'm not concerned about that. It doesn't take much water to grow either way, and as we've talked about, and I will talk about more, is it takes less acreage to get more out of it compared to just about everything else. Now, I don't know how that compares to the grain. We just know it does with the fiber. If you're growing for the fiber, it's very little acreage to get a decent amount of fiber out of it. And so there you have it. Fabric of America, the 5 reasons why. Rethinking hemp. Let's not rethink
Indeed.
it. Let's just think it. Everyone should think hemp whenever they do anything. I don't care what you're going to do. Think hemp. Maybe that'll be my next. Promotion. Think hemp. A region in Italy is thinking hemp. They received a $500,000 grant, so to speak, I guess, to develop local industrial hemp supply chain for building materials and textiles. Now, again, I've said this before, and I'll say it until someone tells me that's not true. Apparently, the Italians are known for growing the finest hemp for clothing. Okay, and again, we know that Armani, um, Dolce and Gabbana, there's all these clothing companies, big name clothing companies that that use hemp. You can get their stuff made out of hemp. Um, and again, it's always been said that Italy grows the finest hemp. So apparently, there's going to be doing some more research to encourage that, or find out for sure. Um, and again, this is development because this is where everybody needs supply chain development. From the farmer to the processing to the manufacturing to the retailer, um, that whole supply chain is continuing to grow and grow and grow and get longer and longer and longer. And it's got a way to go before it is where it needs to be, one way or another one. Okay, now this might be kind of so far one of the craziest, best uses for hemp seed oil or hemp seed extracts. But there's a Czechoslovakian scientist who has introduced plasma. You heard that right. Plasma derived from hemp seed extracts. Um, Now, one of the reasons why is if it's organic hemp seed, it's organic plasma, and a lot of people can't accept plasma for religious reasons or um, uh, their own reasons, uh, depending on how that all works. But apparently, this plasma that this Czech scientist has um, introduced, again, it contains. So here's what hemp seed has in it that makes it successful as a plasma substitute: adestin. Again, don't know what that is. Yet just another part of in the hemp seed oil that has benefits that I don't know if I've ever heard of it. But because it has a decent amount of adestin in it, hemp seed oil, um, that's what makes it successful as a plasma substitute or a plasma, an option for plasma. So, um, just, you know, this is just one Czech scientist in somewhere in the world. I don't know if he's actually in Czechoslovakia. Um, but, you know, if there are large scale developments possible, this is amazing. One of the things they were saying too is it stores for longer, so it has a longer shelf life than the whatever. Again, I don't know how plasma is made or what plasma really does. We think of plasma as blood, but it's different. I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're not talking blood; we're talking plasma. You know what the true definition of actual plasma is I almost want to look it up now.
Oh, we have no audio on Beach again. My oh my. Me can't hear you. I don't know what's happening. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Lost Beach's audio again for I've lost track of how often we've lost his audio. Lost his video earlier. Still no audio. Still nothing. Particularly a rough day with the tech issues today. That's crazy. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like nothing happens. It just goes. It just goes away. I don't know why. And the problem is when it goes away, you don't know how to get it back because you don't know how it went away. Like earlier, I put his mic on mute. That muted the mic on his end, like he had muted it. But it shouldn't work that way. If I mute his mic, I should be able to unmute, but I couldn't because it like transferred the mute to him to where it was muted on his end. I don't. And earlier when I brought up a picture at the beginning of the show, Beach's audio just went dead, and that was it. He couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear him. See, if there's rhyme or reason, the troubleshooting can be introduced. But if you don't know, then I suspect Beach just totally left and is going to come back and see if that works. Kind of a reset, reboot, if you will. And we'll somehow finish the show. Which, for a show that has a lot of tech issues, it's been particularly taxing today. Lots of tech issues from beginning to end. And it's weird too because when myself and Beach are like talking before the show, if everything's going well in that area, there's no glitches or anything, I know it's going to come during the show. I know there's going to be a problem. And most of the time it works out that way. Like today, no tech issues at all between me and Beach, but now we have issues.
Am I back?
There we go. Beach is back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey! Just in time to finish up the show, folks. Show you one more thing and get the heck out of here. The one last, these are just kind of fun. But how about these pair of hemp clogs that I found? I found these on eBay, made in France. As you may or may not know, France is the only country in the world that has never stopped growing industrial hemp. Now I have seen a pair of boots. I think they might be made from the same company, but kind of water boots, kind of. And so I thought these were kind of fun. If you're looking for a pair of hemp composite clogs, check out eBay. See if they've got your size. I don't know if they will or not, but
Nice.
those are pretty neat. I have to say. And I do believe this company makes different styles of hemp shoes and boots of this same kind of. I really think it's kind of a soft, rubbery composite. I don't think it's like hard, solid, um, like you may picture. I think it's actually kind of a soft, rubbery composite. So, either way, there you have it, made in France. What I think is interesting, and I'm not positive, I have to check into this, but in France, I believe that you cannot put a hemp leaf or a pot leaf or anything that resembles illegal anything on your clothing, on your anywhere. Now, if someone noticed it, I don't know, but I do know you can't wear a T-shirt that's got a big leaf on it. You can't. I always said there was. I had a hemp shirt that had like hemp leaves on the buttons, and that would literally not be legal to wear in public in France because they call that a marijuana leaf, and you cannot make any. It's censorship at its finest.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like you can't make any drug references or anything like that on your clothing um, anywhere in France. So, but on the side there, that is like those little buttons. I'm pretty sure that's a hemp leaf. So, I don't know if you could wear these in France legally. If you bought them in France legally, one way or another.
Wow.
All right, there you have it. That's everything fit to talk about. I didn't have any questions. My thoughts are once again clearly illustrated in the show, and there aren't really any events. I'll let you know next week if there is a marijuana meetup, medical marijuana meetup here in Cincinnati. Normally they're the first Tuesday of the month, which would actually be in a week and a half or so, 2 weeks from now. So I'll let you know next week whether one of those is going on or not. And other than that, there's not much going on, but get into Hemptations for our Green Friday, Small Business Saturday. It's going to be the best sales you can get on hemp stuff, possibly ever in the history of Hemptations, even. So, everybody in a hemp jacket. Let's do it. Remember, folks,
reduce.
See y'all next week.